As a young Black woman who immigrated to Canada from Nigeria at a very young age, I've been very aware of my race. It creates this, potential for discrimination amongst many things. One of the experiences that I always remember when I talk about DEI is I was on a train and someone randomly put their hand into my afro, and it was just very shocking to me that happened.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Meta Transitions. I am your host, Trisha K. Williams, and I'm here with Doyin. Doyin, we're so excited to have you on our show. Doyin is a community organizer, and I'm going to let Doyin share a little bit more about what she does in the community. So take it away, Doyin.
Awesome. Thank you, Trisha, for that introduction. I'm so glad to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to, to speak and be on this episode. So like you mentioned, I'm doing, my last name is Agbaje, Doyin Agbaje. And I'm a community organizer. I'm the founder of the Black Bloc Association. And last year we brought the Black Bloc Party to Vancouver, and that was where I yeah, I know, we need some excitement there. That was where I met Trisha. And we kind of spoke briefly, but we hadn't met in person, and we met at the event. And it was really fun. It was great to bring life back to the community, and also to just bring Black people together to talk about creativity, talk about taking up space, and just bring positive energy and positive vibes. I have a background in business management, and in my day job, I work in marketing. So, yeah, and I'm Nigerian of descent, so all the details. But great to be here.
Definitely, so excited. And like I'm expressing, we were so excited to be there and to enjoy that. And just talking about, like you said, taking up space. It's so important because people that look like us are not very popular here in BC. So to have an event like that where we have so many people that look like us in one space, it was refreshing for me at least. So.
Yeah. And then I can tell you many people can echo the same sentiments. And even for me, just like seeing the amount of people that came through, having 4,000 Black people, well, not 4,000 Black people, but majority of them are Black people. So we know that there are Black people in Vancouver. It's just we need those spaces to actually bring us out to celebrate ourselves and just be ourselves. That's the essence of taking up space, right? Being yourself, being wholly and fully yourself wherever you are. So yeah.
Definitely. All right, so let's get into it. So tell us a little bit about your own personal experience with diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? Like, what does that look like for you as a person?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, I'm Nigerian, right? And as a young Black woman who immigrated to Canada from Nigeria at a very young age, I've been very aware of my race, and I was different from people, and also had different experiences from individuals that are my age here. And for me, there have always been multiple layers of my identity, but being Black and being a woman in Canada, it creates this dual intersection of, potential for discrimination amongst many things. And it was definitely an adjustment for me getting used to, and ultimately just like adjusting to all the different things. So, the little microaggressions of people shifting uncomfortably on the bus, clutching their purses in transit. There are things that I had to deal with. One of the experiences that I always remember when I talk about DEI is I was on a train and someone randomly put their hand into my afro, and it was just very shocking to me that happened. It's like, how do you react? On the one hand, you don't want to be upset and react in a way that they label you the angry Black woman, but it's also like, you've invaded my personal space. So many things with that, but I've grown to embrace my identity, and this like extra weight of the identity that society has kind of like put on me as a Black woman. But I know that most people, when they see me as this Black woman, but there are more things that come with that. And so I've taken it as a point of pride to like show people that I'm more than just, the face, more than just what you see, and helping other people get into that space where they don't feel like they have to like fit into the box of what a Black woman is, of what a Black person is, or what an immigrant is, but they can also like, they can be many different things, and they can show that to society. And so it's just, and as when we start to do that, as much as we do that, society starts to embrace the diversity of the things that we bring to the table and starts like adjust to that. So it's not like I have to adjust who I am to fit into society, but rather society adjusts to allow me be fully and wholly me in society. So yeah, that is how I am.
Yes, I love that, expression of, I shouldn't feel like I have to change who I am to fit into society. Like it really should be society recognizing, me as a person and adjusting to include me, within in the society. And I never thought of that. So I'm glad we're having this conversation, right? We're helping each other, we're to grow and to think of things in new ways, right? So yeah. And just also saying that, I'm also a woman of color who's Black, and many of the experiences that you've had, I've also had it too, girl. And I'm telling you, it's uncomfortable, especially the hand in the hair. Oh man. Anytime you come to work with a different hairstyle, everybody's astonished and, oh my God, wow, how long did it take? And can I touch it? And all these weird, uncomfortable feelings just come over you, and you're like, why am I the center of attention right now? Because of my hair.
Exactly. It's all the little things. And I had to learn to navigate that. So it's like, do I want to play the role of the educator? Or do I just want to like allow them, enjoy their ignorance and like just, it's like it saves me the work, but like I have to continue dealing with this? Or do I just want to like just walk away from it fully? So being the type of person I am, I always like lean into being the educator and like just like helping them learn. But I also figured that there was so much burden on me. Like I felt like I had to do that. And it's like, you don't have to. Like, I don't always have to explain myself. I don't have to explain that I just want to have a different look this month, or I'm tired of having to brush my hair every morning, so I have braids on. I don't have to do that. So just learning, and then I feel like it's how we grow as Black women in this society. We learn, and we just eventually get to the point where we're like, this is who I am, and I'm leaning fully into it, and I don't have to be responsible. I don't have to explain it to anyone.
Yeah, there's that idea of living freely within the society, not feeling like you have to, like you say, educate everybody, but just live in a sense, right? And being fully, like you said, yourself, right? Absolutely. Okay, all right. Thank you for sharing that with us, a bit about yourself. Like, I know that you are now founder of this organization and you're running lots of events. So I know within your planning committees, there's lots of probably talk about how can we, champion diversity, equity, and inclusion, belonging as well within these events, right? So when people come, they, again, feel the sense of inclusion. Like, what are some things that you think that your organization does, or even within your own sphere of influence, that champion diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Yeah. So our organization is rooted in the principle of nothing about us without us. So we lean on our experiences and also like feedback we get from the community and things we see in the community to influence and inform decisions we make. And being an organization that is focused on the community and the Black community in Vancouver, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging definitely plays a huge role. So being aware of my experiences, I felt like other Black folks and immigrants alike were possibly facing similar experiences. And we kind of mentioned on the call, like you've experienced a thing with the hair, right? But we have similar experiences, and feeling of isolation being in Vancouver, especially with people saying there are not many Black people in Vancouver. And there hasn't really been a formed Black community. There are like small pockets, but we don't have that unified space. But I like to know that there was once a thriving Black community before, the unfortunate displacement from the government. But that's a different topic on its own. But we've had that before, and so I feel like we can get back to that place and even better. So I wanted to do something for the Black community to bring us together, to uplift and support. And so Black folks and immigrants don't have to feel like there's no place for them in Vancouver. They can have, that space. They can take up space. They can follow their dreams, pursue their passions, and they don't have to feel like they're limited by, the societal limitations that, we have. So when we were thinking of hosting BBP last year, one thing was the experiences and, the sentiments about isolation, but it was also like what we wanted to do, what the impact would be for the community, how many people would feel like having something like this would change something for them. Like, would it be a change in mindset? Would it be a change in behavior? Like, what is the overall outcome we want from that? And that's how we kind of got to the space of nothing about us without us. And, we, aside from having the event, we want to continually advocate for DEI, and also bring a sense of belonging for the community. So thinking about addressing mental health, addressing, relational health, financial health, through conversation that we had at the event, taking up space, having speakers, bringing people together and just having fun. Like, we're touching on different facets of people's lives, and ensuring that we can bring belonging through that. So that's how we do it. We promote equity, belonging, inclusion for the Black community to ultimately make Vancouver a more diverse and inclusive space, because that's where we are. So might as well make it a space that is conducive for us.
I'm hearing, okay, somebody sat down and was like, okay, how can I, create a space, right, where people can come together and not feel isolated. There can be community healing, coming from the mental health, background and thinking about it in that way. I have so many clients who are like, I don't have any friends here, or I'm isolated. There aren't many Black people that I see or can talk to, and it's a good thing where I can be like, here are some organizations I know who are going to definitely put on some events, or that you can go check out, the community. And I know that, BBP is one of them, right? So I'm very happy that this organization exists, and I can refer clients to it because isolation is real in the streets, I'm telling you.
It is. And we did one event. We're like, we're going to do one event every year, try to keep it simple. And, the event was in August. In October, people are like, when is your next event? And I'm like, we just planned for one. But it's supposed to show that people wanted this. Like, this was something that people wanted for such a long time. And it's, there are times when it's like, we want something, but we talk about it, but no one really does the work to bring it to life. And I remember when I first had the idea for BBP, and this was like 2 years ago, I shared it with my friends. And then last year in January, I remember saying it again. And my friend was like, you said this before. What are you doing to fix it? And it was like an attack on me. I'm like, wow, you're really coming for me with this. And that was when I started to think, okay, like, you can't be part of people that are just talking about it and not doing anything. Like, what can you do to actually like bring the change? What can you do to add to that? And that was how we started to put in the work for the event. And, we're here now. We're trying to bring more events to people, and not even events, bring more opportunities to folks. Aside from the event, we're bringing opportunities to the vendors that were there, to the artists. We're bringing publicity to them. So it's not only a space for us to commune, it's also bringing support to our businesses, to people in the community that are doing work, they're pursuing their passions and their dreams, and elevating that, and also inspiring other people to know that they can do that. And I really value the mentor part of it, and that's why I really wanted to have speakers there, just to talk about how we can have that mindset that takes us from just existing to actually full on taking up space.
Yeah. So the idea of moving from surviving to thriving, right?
Yes.
You're not just having an event for people to just come to and be entertained. You're having an event where people can come, participate, support, empower, and leave, changed in a sense. So I love that.
Yeah. I like that. From surviving to thriving. I'm gonna like put that on my Instagram after this. I really love
it. Yes. All right. Any tips that you can give, Doyin, for people out there who are wanting to champion, diversity, equity, and inclusion, but sometimes it's uncomfortable, right? To talk about it, to share
Mm.
it, right? So what are some tips you would give
Yeah,
them?
it's it's really great to just even thinking about that. Like when I think back on my experience, um I I know many times one thing I had to do was to try new things and not let fear stop me. So using like working with fear, like there's always going to be the fear and the anxiety, what ifs, but using that and actually doing the work with the fear. um I had to, in college, be a part of the board. Like I worked to be a part of the board so I could bring that different voice into it. Just working to be a part of places where decisions were being made. So I could
Mhm.
champion DEI, offer diverse perspective. So try new things. It's not going to be easy. It can be intimidating, but don't let fear stop you. Having fear is human. So using that, working in fear, I'll say, is one of the tips. I'll say getting a solid support system too that will cheer you on when doubts start to creep in, when you're starting to feel fear. People that can remind you that you can do this. Having that solid support system is another thing. And subtle plug, you can do that. Come to the event and meet people that can be your support system if you don't already have one. Do your research. Coming up with BBP, thinking about how we can make this something that is not a party. It's like something that people can actually feel like they learn something from, feel like there was a shift for them. So we had to do a lot of research, reaching out to people, think about what the main pain points are. Like if you want to bring something new to the community, what are the main pain points? How can you fill the gap? That was something that I had to do. I didn't want to, reinvent the wheel. So what is something that is missing that you can add to what is already being done to elevate the experience for whatever you're trying to fix. And yeah, if someone is already doing the work, partner with them. Let's like minimize reinventing the wheel. There's room for collaboration, and the more collaboration we have in the community, especially the Black community, the more strengthened we can be. And don't be afraid to reach out to organizations already doing DEI work. Even like reaching out to you and reaching out to the panel that we had speak. Like I could have been like, I don't know these people, I'm not going to reach out. What if they say no? But like just reaching out and never know what will come out from it. And also people are willing to share their lessons. So reaching out to people that have actually done work similar to you, even if they're not even in the same space as you are, but learning from them. Not being afraid to share your ideas too, because sometimes people are like, what if someone uses my ideas, but like no one brings the same things you bring, right? So sharing your ideas allows you to get feedback and you can think more clearly about it, fine-tune the idea and work on it. And honestly, like DEIB work is like, it's important work, it's hard work, it never ends. But if we're able to treat people with respect and compassion, and we also remember to do that for ourselves too while we do the work, like it definitely takes it to a different level. It definitely helps us reach our goals faster. So being kind to others, being compassionate to others, and doing same for ourselves is the last tip I'll leave people with.
Yes, no, I appreciate those tips for sure. And I love the spirit it's coming in.
Absolutely. I'm happy. I'm happy to share and talk about it. These things. Like when I talk about them, they just energizes me and also like reminds me to do things for myself too. So like being compassionate to myself, going to have dinner after this call is one of those things. I just like
Yeah.
focusing solely on the work, but it also like reminds me of like the work that took me to get to this point with the organization and the work that we've been doing so far. And like they say, not despising the humble beginnings, but just like remembering that and using that as a fuel for the future. So I enjoy talking about it. So thank you again for having me here.
You're welcome, definitely. So, Doyen, please share how people can reach you or reach the association, talk a little bit more about events that are coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the Black Bloc Association, we go currently by the Black Bloc Party. So you can find us website, the Van Black Bloc Party as our website. Our Instagram is also the same, so you can find us on Instagram and LinkedIn with the Black Bloc Association. So Instagram, the Van Black Bloc Party, LinkedIn, the Black Bloc Association, and just connect with us. Check our website, check our Instagram, share, post, all the likes. And you can also find me on LinkedIn too, Doyin Agbaje. And yeah, those are all the ways you can support. We have our event coming up, so the second edition of the Black Bloc Party in August. The date is going to be announced very soon. So again, if you're following us on Instagram or LinkedIn, you find the details there. We're also looking for support in different ways, and we're looking for vendors and artists. So whatever way you feel like you want to participate in the event, or if you just want to come and enjoy it like Trisha did last year, feel free to do that too. Yeah, that's how you can find us, and that's what's coming up.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. I'm already going to be like looking at your pages just to see when the date's coming up so I can mark it in my calendar.
Yes. I want to give people enough time to put in their calendar. We know it's summer, so the dates will be coming soon.
Yes, definitely.
Well, thank you all so much for having me. I'm really excited. I'm reeling from this conversation so far. This is like great conversation to be having. And so like, I absolutely think, if you're not already doing that, you should like this, or you have liked the video already, comment and also subscribe, and just keep watching this content, watching this space. There's a lot to be learned here, and they're really doing amazing work. Giving shout out to you, Trisha, for the work you're doing. And to see more content like this, I'll say subscribe. Might as well get it done now. So subscribe.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. There you have it, folks. Take care until next time.